Hello. Hey. Good morning if you're watching live, and good day, evening, or whatever time of the days if you're watching replay. Okay, I see people can join. Good. Hi, everybody. So today is April 3rd. And I'll be talking about my March, what I have done, what kind of project, what's going on, everything March related for Natalia Yarncraft. So it was not much actually. Because we had very busy months with kids and other stuff in the family, so I wasn't able to focus much on crafting. But anyway, I did one big project and few tiny ones. So let's start. Oh, I forgot to bring my capelet, but okay. So last month I show you Tricolored Capelet. I finished, I think, last month writing, or anyway, the pattern is done, and I was opening tester call. And for the first, I think was like, the deadline was, I think, April 10 or something. And people wasn't responding to this test call. So I tried to extend the deadline and invite more people. But I don't know what's going on with testers, or where I put this tester call, or just time of the year people, or it's actually a design that people don't want to jump to this test need. So anyway, I have one response, I think, and so I let it simmer till deadline, and then we'll decide what to do with actual design, with the pattern release. We'll see. Or I'll publish and add a comment, like in a description area. So if you want to test before you, so I'll be open to give you a pattern for as a test, for the test or so. So anyway, tasting right now in kind of, I don't know what kind of area it's and what stage it's right now. So anyway, it's about Tricolored Capelet. And beginning of the month, so my samples for capelet was already done, and I was looking what to make next. And because we already the beginning of the month, and then through the month was lots to do, extra stuff related to kids, and so it was like, okay, I need to do something easy, and so not much pay attention what I'm doing. And I just was going through my yarn stash and was looking what to grab and what to start, and I look at all the tiny balls leftovers after different projects and decide, okay, I think maybe it's time to do some kind of stash basting project, and to start something that I can use all these small balls from what was left from different project. And I start making. At that point, I didn't decide what will be at the like an end project. I just start making, and this was the beginning. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4 yarns as like a kind of main colors, and also for these extra lines actually 2 different colors. So I have 4 main colors and 2 contrast colors, and I like it so much. It was so easy to make, and the project was going and going and going and going and going, and at the end I have pretty long scarf that I finished. So, and the name of this project, so usually I have little trouble to find a name for any pattern or something. And here you see all these lines that's visible, more visible, like a contrast colors. And it's reminded me when we use description for parallel lines in geometry, and this is definitely not so parallel lines. So if you look this way, and I decide to go with the name Unparalleled Scrappy scarf, but not so much about scarf, but Unparalleled Scrappy. So scrap yarn, yeah, you see, and so all these lines that's not so much parallel to each others. How it's done? 2 colors, so it's other end, and this is the beginning. So not 2 colors, 2 little sections, 2 little triangles, using 1 color and 1 contrast color in between them and on top of them. And these triangle sections made using German short rows. So through the whole scarf, that's lots of knitting. And it's only knitting, so it's completely garter stitch, nothing purling here, so not even 1 purl stitch, just knitting. And each little triangle is made with short rows, and these contrast colors, just 2 rows of contrast color, yeah. And so you starting with 1 yarn, then adding extra and going and going and going and going. So, and at the beginning I was like, okay, maybe a cowl. And even if you go this way, you can make this like so. Let me grab this end. So like this, yeah. Small cowl, you can make small cowl using the same pattern. Just need to do a little seam at the end. Or you can go a little bit longer and make like such cowl that's lying around your neck, yeah. Or you can go a little bit longer and do like a 1 twist here. Or you can go even longer like me and do a long scarf. This is our scarf. So the project, it's like you starting and looking at your yarn leftovers and see how much you want to spend on this project, how much yarn, and decide how big you want to go. Little cowl, bigger cowl, even bigger cowl, or just a scarf. I'm thinking maybe even I can run like a knit along after I finish this pattern, and people can decide what kind of project they wanna do, and we can talk about yarn choices, and just I also will be adding some description how you can change the weight of this scarf or cowl or whatever you want to do. So I think more like a knit along, but it won't be in this month or next month, so I need to decide when I have time to just run this project and interact more with people and see how much time I need for my end to do this. So little kind of funny story about, I was knitting this project where I think it was track and field meet for one of my boys, and if you may know or may not, so the track and field meets usually last a long time, and it's like you waiting before it's time to actually some event for your kid. So I brought this project to one of these meets, and I was working, but my mind was busy also with other stuff. And then I was counting stitches and thinking about how I can change the weight of this scarf, how many stitches I need to add or subtract. And I was like, okay, I need so many stitches, and then why I put in the pattern different number of stitches? I was like half of these stitches, and then I was thinking, okay, stop. You even didn't started writing this pattern. How are you thinking that you were wrong in a pattern? And why I was thinking about, because in Tricolored Capelet I also have triangle sections with short rows, and I already put this pattern for a test knit, so I knew that I did add some comments. If you wanted to change number of stitches, you need to add or subtract this number. So in my head I was already in these triangles thinking, and short rows, and here again little triangles and short rows, and the same concept. You need to subtract or add a specific number of stitches depending on how many turns you have in these triangles. So it's like two project mixed together in my head somehow, and I was like, okay, you need to stop at this point and think what you have done and what you're doing right now with this thing. Yeah, that's it. It was a busy month, and when you have so much in your head, it's like sometimes, okay, you need to stop and think slowly and be more precise on different things. Yeah, that's mixing. So this project is done. And I will be putting together a pattern, but it will be more like it will be full description of this scarf. Plus, it will be also directions how you can change and what kind of different project like cows, long or short, you can do with using this particular idea. And here I have, if I go slowly, this yarn, it's Madeleine Tosh. This I used in my pattern Colorful Scales cowl. This pinkish yarn, pinkish and purple and a little bit orange. This is, I think, from Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee hand dyed. I used it for C-tight capelet. This contrast color in between, it's from my crochet scale cowl. You see all these different projects coming together in one big project. And this is from fiber, what is the exact name? Okay, fiber, I forgot. Let me check. I remember the name of Don't Be Coy. Oh, okay, it's a fiber studio at Yarns to Die For. So it's their hand dyed yarn. Don't Be Coy. The color was the name of the color. Don't Be Coy. I made a couple cowls of this, but it's not published patterns. But they the idea is using the same like crochet colorful scales and crochet scales cowl, so using modular knitting technique. And this is also hand dyed blend, I think Yarn Bee hand dyed, but it's not only merino, it's something else. And it's for my tea that it's up and down and side to side. It's also not published pattern, but I made not so long ago. And second contrast color is I did a test knit for someone and used this. So most all of them are fingering weight yarns, and here for the contrast rows I used 2 strands of fingering. And for the second contrast color I use DK weight, so it's about the same as 2 strands of fingering. So, and it's, yeah, you see it's also like a more on a neutral with little bit specks of the color. This is very colorful project, but of course you can use like solid colors and go so with contrast color like a colorful colorways. It will be, so that's why my idea is to run a knit along, so to see how people can choose what kind of yarn, so we can describe how you can, if you want to mix different colorways, maybe is a better way to do, like here for example I choose this color together with this color next to each other because they both have orange lines, orange speckles or something, and like here and here it's also some bluish and so on. So I can talk about this also, but yeah, I already told. I need to find a time frame for this and see how I can do this and try and run this idea through my head exactly, and see what and how, and so most important when. Okay, this is a one big project of this March, and all other stuff was small and or tiny, even tiny. I also applied for, again, for one of submission calls, and it was kind of they have kind of long period where you can submit. Usually if a company or yarn company or a magazine, they put a call for submission, they have like pretty short deadline. And when I saw this call for submission, it was about a month. And at the beginning I like dive in, got an idea, made a swatch, and then again busy busy time with different things. And okay, I need to actually finish the call for submission and do a proposal and put everything together. So usually like a stopping point for putting everything together for me is draw, actually sketch how design will look like on body or whatever piece of you doing. Yeah, this is drawing, it's not my skill that's I'm proud of. So this is kind of usually, okay, I need to focus and how I can draw. But I did, and it isn't big project, but we'll see how it's going, if it will be interesting or for the company or not. So also we preparing for inTandem photo shoot. It will be this April, and if you first watching me, so what is inTandem? inTandem is will be magazine that we were already working on. For the first year it will be 4 issues, and who are we? That's I'm talking. We are several designers that come together and decide to make and publish this magazine. So several of us working in for several designs for different issues. So it will be, first will be fall, then winter, spring, and summer. Fall, winter, and spring will be knit for knitters, and the summer will be for crocheters. So, and I'm participating in I have two designs that will be in one of knits and one for crocheters. So, and this so before we before we doing a photo shoot, we need to prepare like what kind of samples will be shoot, and the photographers need to know what kind of colors of the samples we have. So we need to put together like document where we putting our pictures of our samples, plus idea how to style this, plus poses, how you would like to this sample to be present. And so everything was in one of the documents for these photo shoots. And to put plus, as we going also about the samples, we also preparing some for later time when we will be announcing our designs. So like pictures, not like at the beginning it won't be like here is a full picture of what we have done, but it will beginning like a process, how we made our samples, and like colors or what kind of yarn. And so this all kind of small stuff. So you need to put all these pictures all in one place, so people who will be using and will be making this post on Instagram, or mostly on Instagram, so they have access to these pictures. And I was going through all my pictures and to find the pictures that I need to put in this place. And so because I have too many pictures of everything, not only craft stuff, but also with kids and so on. So it's like going through all the stuff and find what I need, especially in progress pictures, what I did. So I made sample, for example, for winter issue back in December, I think, and for summer in February. And so I need to go back and check all my pictures and find what actually I need to add to this folder. So it was also a process. Okay, so what about actually knitting, crocheting, and all this stuff? Last month I already saw you a few flowers, pink flowers, for our upcoming Waxho yarn bomb. And this month I also continue to make them a little bit, not many, but at least some. So flower, pink flower, like light pink with darker pink in the middle, and opposite darker pink and light pink in the middle. So it will be lots of flowers on a tree. And I already did last month in what was in February. I did few and put it in a big basket in a yarn store, where other people also coming and bringing these kind of flowers, and we collecting it. It's in a big basket. So I think I already dropped 50 of them in this basket, and I have like I think 15 in this light color and 15 more in this darker color. So this also go into this big basket. Oh, here's few. This is what was the tiniest. It's because you see, this is like a normal size that I make, and all this about the same size. This is smaller because I was running out of yarn for light pink. So this is smallest. Anyway, these 2 stacks will be going to big basket with other flowers, and we will be, I'm not sure yet when we'll be putting these flowers on the wall, but you'll see it later. I will definitely post the pictures. Okay, so this is like continue small thing, and also I think I told already last time I was teaching classes, start teaching classes for beginners, and this month I will continue. I was continuing to do this, and one of my students asked if we can do some kind of toys or more like a maybe ornament for a tree, Christmas tree. And I was looking through my books and some brochures and all this kind of stuff, and find this, it's like a magazine, or yeah, deck the whole 20 plus knitted Christmas ornaments. And we were going through this, see what we can do. And so because this is a beginner, and I was looking through this, and most of the stuff that is here is for DPNs, so working around DPNs or using magic loop or whatever you want. But anyway, in a round, with a small circumference, it's definitely not for beginners. But I found one ornament here. It is a star, wish upon a star. Actually, it's here 2, smaller and bigger. And of course I need to check before I go to a students and say, okay, we'll be doing this. And I made this little star, but yeah, it's a soft yarn. Probably better be with a cotton and a little bit starch on, if you want actually on the tree. But anyway, it is again with my favorite technique in the last month, short rows. Yeah, and you will be working here with short rows and making one section, second section, and sixth section the same way. And then one seam here at the end. It wasn't too complicated, and so you work flat, so no in around and so on, just flat. You work basically with most only knit stitches, because it's a garter stitch here, just a few yarn overs and knit 2 together. It isn't too complicated, and this student, she's doing pretty well. I think she can catch this pretty quickly, but she wanted something 3D. So not flat piece. So, and we decided to go with a bowl or bubble, or what it's called. let me see here. Okay, but here in the book, this is made in a circle, so, and using DPNs. And I decided to rewrite the pattern for flat knitting, and then make a piece flat and then just seam at the end in the back. So this is my sample, and I finished it and then decided also to go a little bit extra, and using duplicate stitch made a letter here. But the knitting itself, so it's good practice to start increasing, good practice to start decreasing, and so it's a stockinette, so knit one side, purl another side. That's our project that we will doing right now with this student. So we'll see how it will be finished on her side. I'm done with mine. Yeah. And so we decided to go like a first, because we're using different yarn, different needles, not like what described in a book. So plus I did rewrite the pattern for flat knitting, so it will be a little bit different, for you need to do extra this seam and so on. And we decided, so we'll be doing, she will be doing I'm just teaching. She will be doing this like first just plain in one color, like so, and then maybe after we see the finished this bowl, how it's, what sides she done, and so then we decide if we want to go bigger, smaller, taller, if it's not tall enough, and so on. And maybe next time we'll be doing extra stripe, different color, or I also thinking maybe add a little bit purling, like in a zigzagging way, like just to incorporate more stitch patterns in just, not just stockinette. So this is also interesting. This not like I'm actually working, but I like to see and I like to help how she is doing, and to help her and see progress, what she how she progress, and how I can help her to do it more efficient, more easier way, and some small points. Okay, this is like my project, but not so my not exactly my project. And also what I did, but it's not exactly mine. I took again one piece to repair. It was a blanket. I did already a couple times some repairing, and but this time it wasn't much of a problem. I mean, the hole wasn't big and so, but more the problem was to find the kind of matching piece of yarn to actually repair this blanket. And I have in my craft room, so I'm not today in a craft room, in different place. I have in my craft room, it's kind of more like a decor pieces, but not so only decor pieces. I have several jars with yarn ends from all kind of different projects. And so like you can see, just this is actually a little end from the flower, and some of the pieces like only couple yards, some maybe a little bit bigger, like a teeny tiny ball. But anyway, so, and I try to like doing by the colors. Here is more like a pinkish purple jar, and here's my blue stuff and more like a teal or something. You see some are little tiny, some little bit bigger, and so on. So anyway, in one of these jars I found the yarn that is pretty close to the color that I needed to repair this blanket. So it's a good thing I have these tiny scraps of yarn. And so the blanket was crocheted, and I did some I did extra couple stitches that I can crochet over the hole, and then just try to blend everything together. It's not much visible, but anyway, it's a repair. It's not like a magic. It's you do some repair, and it's, if you see close up, you can see it was a hole there. So, but anyway, the customer was happy. That's good. What else I have done this month? So before I start today's live, I was like, okay, what I'll be talking about? I have only one big project. And then I just start scrolling through my pictures in my phone, and okay, I actually have done this. At the beginning of the month, I did a extra video tutorial to put in a pattern Tricolored Capelet. So it was video tutorial how to do German short rows. So that's why also using in this scarf. So when I will be doing a pattern for the scarves, I'll be adding also that tutorial link to this tutorial to this pattern. So helpful. And also I did my 2 usual posts of stitch patterns, and of course I forgot to bring them today. So one was I think uneven rib. I love this pattern and I use it so many times already. It's like in the past and recently, and one of my patterns, like what is the name, flame shawl with pockets. I am using this uneven rib. I think it's also sometimes called broken rib or something like this. I'm using in a flame shawl for borders and for, I think, for partially for pocket. And second stitch patterns was waffle rib stitch. Oh yeah, this is also fun stitch. You can find it in a grid below, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check my website. I have there special tab for stitch patterns. All the stitch patterns that I am adding to Instagram also on website. This stitch pattern, waffle rib stitch, it's not exactly reversible. Both sides doesn't look the same, but you can choose whatever side you would like for right side or the wrong side, because they both look pretty good. it's up to you. What do you like more, on like a more for knit stitches, or more like a pearl stitches on the right side. So, and even I did charts for both ways. If you prefer your side this way, then here's your chart. If you prefer this other side, this is your chart, because if you know, charts usually start with right side row, yeah, you go right side one direction, wrong side other direction, and so on, going in charts. Also, speaking about charts, I was thinking if I should add extra, I don't know, maybe not a page, but some kind of list. What is what you need to know about charts and how to use the chart, like also to the website or to my blog, like how to read the chart. Let me know in the comments, or here or later after with replays, if you would like to see like a extra description about charts, how to read them, what it's why I love them, and so on. Like, it's probably will be a blog post. It's to describe this is this, and why you need to pay attention to this, and so on. It's more like a, yeah, or it will be like a little carousel in Instagram posts. So here's like a picture or whatever. Okay, anyway, let me know in the comments if you need something special about charts, and I'll think how I can deliver this. Okay, I think that's it for today. So I talked a little bit about test knitting. I talked about my new scarf that will becomes at some point pattern and then probably knit along. And I talk about project with students, flowers for yarn bomb, repairing stuff, extra video tutorial, and what else? Stitch patterns, newish in the last month. Okay. That's it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. And replay will be available on Instagram and a little bit later on YouTube as usual. Okay, have a nice day. Bye.